professors, doctors, fellow researchers, and lecturers of Universiti Teknologi Mara. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope it's not too late for me, on behalf of Research Nexus of UiTM, to wish all of you happy fasting and Ramadan Mubarak. By the way, I'm Natasha Ahmad Nawawi, the Industrial and Technology Coordinator of Research Nexus of UiTM, from the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Research and Innovation of UiTM. Will be the moderator for today's webinar session on tips for winning Malaysia Rubber Council Industry Linkage Fund. So in brief, this MRC Industry Linkage Fund is a funding program for the Malaysian rubber product industry to collaborate with universities and research institutions on research projects that will contribute to the development of a rubber industry in Malaysia with a funding ceiling of RM300,000 for a maximum of 3 years research duration. Okay. So for your information, this is our second series of the MRC Industry Linkage Fund webinar. Last Wednesday, we had the first session on the application guidelines by Mr. Muhammad Aminuddin Nordin, the Executive of Corporate Planning and Research from MRC itself. So to those who missed the first webinar session, you may watch the recorded session on the CNCPR YouTube channel for further information. As for today, we are fortunate to have here with us Prof. Dr. Hayati and Dr. Patrick L.Y, the recipient of the MRC Linkage Fund for the ongoing collaboration project entitled Seismic Response of Base Isolated Low-Rise Buildings under In-Plane Lateral Cyclic Loading, to share with us their experience and tips, the do and don'ts in writing the proposal and securing the grant. So thank you for being here today, Prof. Dr. Hayati and also Dr. Patrick L.Y. So before we start, let me briefly introduce our first speaker today, Prof. Dr. Hayati Abdul Hamid. So currently, Prof. Dr. Hayati Abdul Hamid is the Director of IIESM, Institute for Infrastructure Engineering and Sustainable Management. She has been working as a lecturer at UiTM for 28 years already. She completed her PhD in Earthquake Engineering from University of Canterbury, Christchurch, New Zealand in 2006. She received her Master of Science in Construction Management and Structural Engineering from University of Newcastle upon Tyne, United Kingdom in 1993, and obtained her Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering from the University of Pittsburgh, United States of America in 1989. Her research interest fields are earthquake engineering, structural dynamics, damage avoidance design philosophy, base isolation system, seismic performance of precast buildings and tunnel form building under earthquake citation, seismic performance of beam column joints with Hubble design using ES 8110 and Eurocode 8. She had published more than 250 articles in journals and conferences, 5 books and 15 chapters in books. She has also secured a total of RM 2.5 million in research funding and consultancy with values of RM 350,000. So note that this session is recorded, so kindly mute your microphone throughout the session. And please type in the question if you have any in the chat box, or you are welcome to ask the question directly to Prof. Dr. Hayati, as we will have a 15-minute Q&A session before we move on to the second speaker of the day. So without further delay, please welcome Prof. Dr. Hayati Abdul Hamid. So the Webex floor is yours, Prof.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Natasha and Dr. Aida from Renew Texas, from Renew Nexus UiTM Shah Alam. Okay, so today I just want to share a little bit of my experience on getting winning the MRC ILF research grant, and also thank you to Dr. Patrick for to share his experience with me while we are doing our project. Okay, I think I can share the slide now. Okay. saya tak boleh share slide lah. Cannot share content. You can share content. Course of present make you the presenter boleh tak? Macam mana? Nak share slide? Okay. Share lagi sekali. Okay, dah boleh. Okay. Can all of you see my slide? Boleh nampak tak?
Boleh, Prof.
Boleh. Okay. Alright. So thank you very much. Alright. So Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and good afternoon to all of you who are actually listening to a little bit tips of winning Malaysian rubber industry linkages fund. Okay, so my name's Hayati binti Abdul Hamid. Currently, I'm the director of IIESM at UiTM Shah Alam. Okay, so today I would like to present a little bit sharing tips for winning Malaysian Rubber Council MRC Industrial Linkage Fund. Kenapa pula? Okay, so this is the outline of my presentation. Okay, I have 7 actually topics. The first one is a little bit brief about Malaysian Rubber Council MRC. Number 2, MRC ILF. Number 3, list of companies related to rubber industry. Number 4, guideline of applying MRC ILF. And number 5, project evaluation. Number 6, some tips winning MRC ILF. And lastly, example of my proposal, which is winning this research grant. Okay, just briefly a little bit of MRC. Formerly, I'm MRC, formerly known as the Malaysian Rubber Export for Promotion Council, MREPC. So last time we called MRPC, now is MRC. Was incorporated on the 14th April 2000 under the Ministry of Plantation, Industry and Commodities. So MRC is tasked with undertaking market promotion of quality Malaysian rubber and rubber product in the world. So MRC has overseas office in US, China, India, Europe and Middle East. And MRCI Industrial Link Fund is funding program for the Malaysian rubber product industry to collaborate with the University and Research Institute as a research project. So MRC actually they need to collaborate university and also the industry which is produce rubber product. Okay, so basically there are 3 main area with MRC Industrial Link Fund. The first one is to increase the export of rubber product and the domestic consumption of rubber product produced in Malaysia. So that is intention of MRC ILF. Second one is to increase consumption of rubber, raw and waste reclaimed in new product development. And number 3 is to facilitate the manufacturing process of rubber products. So MRC, they are focused more on the rubber product, which produced by the industry. So there are priority area and product for research area, which are focused on the latex-based production, dry rubber product, automation and process improvement, application of rubber in infrastructure and construction. So for my research grant, is under D, application of rubber, because I use this isolation for the for the design to cater for earthquake. So this is category in infrastructure and construction of application of rubber. And then they have solid waste reclamation management, wastewater treatment, green and sustainable technology, energy saving and advanced manufacturing. So that means you can choose any of these priority area, and you need to collaborate with the industry before you can actually apply for this proposal, MRC ILF proposal. Okay, so actually there are lists of companies related to the rubber industry. So thank you very much, Dr. Patrick, because he's from Doshin Rubber Production Berhad, which Doshin Rubber supply my research with the spatial-based isolation to cater for the building for the low-rise building. So we did a test in the lab, and Alhamdulillah, we are nearly completing this project for 3 years. Okay, and then they also have KL Kepong rubber product, Hibik rubber product, tire production, factories such as Continental Tire, Goodyear Malaysia Berhad, Silverstone, and then a lot of others. So you can actually find the companies using this website. I think Dr. Okay, so you can click this link and you can find the industry which produce rubber, and you can collaborate with them and discuss with them what are their topics area that you can do a proposal, and then after that you can prepare the proposal and submit to MRC. Okay, so basically their product we are classified as you can work with the rubber glove, medical device, automotive part, household product, engineer rubber product, industrial product, retrieving material, okay, sporting goods, toys, tires, processed rubber, and others. Okay. Okay. Basically, I just a little bit brief about guideline of applying MRC ILF. Even though Cik Amin already explained to you last week, I just want to point out what are the important things that we need to do before we apply this grant. Okay, number one, the project must be related to the product manufacturing industry. Okay, so that means we must do a research which related to the rubber products. Okay, and the application of this grant is open throughout the year, so you can apply at any time of the year. Okay, you can apply through online. Okay, and then the selection criteria for the project will be assessed by the MRC committee as follows. So therefore, they have 5 criteria. Number 1 is the scientific and technical merit. Number 2 is the research competency. Number 3 is innovativeness of the research. Number 4, clear and measurable expected outcome. So you must actually have the clear and measurable expected outcome. So what you want to get at the end of your project. And lastly is project with a proven concept or prototype or pre-commercialization. So it's meaning to say that we want the research proposal should be at least you have a prototype. It's not on the basic concept. You have at least more on applied research, not on the basic research. Okay, and then number 3, all research projects are required to have a collaboration. So you must have the collaboration between the university or research institute with the Malaysian rubber product industry. That means you must have a collaboration with the Malaysian rubber product industry in order for us to eligible for the funding. So as you know that the maximum fund for each project is 300,000. Okay, and for the fund we can actually break them into a few into wages and allowance for the temporary and contract personnel. Okay, I will show you how we break down the expenditure. Travel and transportation. Number 3, rental. Number 4, research material and supplies. Number 5, minor modification and repair. Number 6, special service such as consultation and sample testing analysis. And finally, prototype development. Okay, so this is the expenditure that you need to put the cost on it, and the total cost should not be more than 300,000. Okay. Okay, so the research must be carried out in Malaysia lah. So because rubber is produced in Malaysia, and then we need to do in Malaysia. So the duration of the project should not more than 3 years. Okay, so throughout the project, the researcher need to provide 3 main item. Number 1 is to submit quarterly report, which is project progress and financial report to the secretary for the review of the committee. Okay, so thank you very much to MRC because they actually monitor your project very closely. So that means every 3 months, okay, I need to submit a report. Okay, so if I did not submit the report to the MRC, they do not actually give the money for the next stage. So that means we need to submit quarterly report. So it's very good because by submitting the quarterly report to MRC, so that means our work will go smoothly lah. So we do not have delay in our project unless if there is a PKP, then we cannot do anything because the researcher cannot go to the lab. So for my case, I have to extend another 6 months because the student, my PhD student cannot go to the lab. Okay, so that is item number 1. Number 2, the researcher need to give a presentation on the interim and final research funding to the committee. So that means after 1 year, so I need to do a presentation on what are the achievement that I achieved. So after 1 year, I have to do a presentation. So already done first year and second year. And finally, I need to submit. The third one is to submit a complete project report to the secretariat for the review by the committee. So I have to submit the complete project report, inshallah, by end of June, 30th June 2022. Okay. All right, and then number 9, the project leader shall ensure that the project are carried out effectively to meet the specific objective. So the committee really actually look and monitor your specific objective and your milestone so that you can actually go well without delaying the project. Okay, so if you need extension, you are allowed to have 6 month extension, including the submission of the final project report. Okay, so for the evaluation of the project, there are 3 stages. Okay, for the first stage is the screening stage. So all the project proposal will be evaluated based on the objective, research approach, proof of concept, ability of the researcher, and cost effective, and also conforming to the requirement of industrial linkages fund. Okay, so the proposal will be evaluated based on this weightage criteria. Number 1 is the industry impact to the sectoral industry from the proposed project, which is 30%. Number 2, research quality, technical hurdles, previous work, current idea to support industrial impact, 30%. And number 3 is the feasibility study, proof concept, research status, cost benefit analysis, 30%. So if you get marks more than 60%, your project will be proceed to the full proposal application. So at this screening stage, you only have to fill in the preliminary proposal. Okay, after you get more than 60%, then you have to fill in the full application proposal. And if less than 59%, that means your proposal will be rejected. So once you write the full proposal application, and then you go to the second stage, which is the technical and financial evaluation stages. Okay, so the full proposal will be evaluated by the committee, and there are actually 7 criteria when they are evaluated this project. The first one is the benefit to the industry, which is 40%, technical 20%, uniqueness, innovation 10%, financial cost benefit 10%, capability of researcher 10%, duration of project 5%, literature search 5%. So if you get 70 and above, your proposal will be shortlisted for the oral presentation, which is on the third stage lah. So if you get less than 69%, your proposal will be rejected. Okay. Okay, so you need to do a presentation. Okay, the committee will make a final decision whether or not to approve your proposal upon reviewing the project during the presentation by the project leader to the committee. Okay, the decision are final by the committee members. Okay, after you winning the grant, the project leader need to sign the research grant agreement between MRC and UiTM. Okay, here I just want to share with you some tips of winning MRC ILF fund. grant. Okay, number one is researcher need to have industrial collaboration which produce rubber product within 9 priorities area in research as listed in slide 4 tadi. So I just list out just now, there are 9 priority area. So just choose any of these per area, and after that you need to collaborate with the industry which produce that product. Okay, modify the product and so on. Okay, number 2, to identify the rubber product from the industry which can be improved or improvise them for better quality products. Okay, so you can actually identify the product can improve or can actually make it more improve in terms of quality and also performance. Okay, number 3, to propose the project with proven concept or prototype. Pre-commercialization to be taken up by the factories. That means when you want to propose to the industry, the TRL3 it should be between TRL3 to TRL7. So because if you have the very basic, maybe the industry will not take it lah. So you have to be more on TRL3 until TRL7. Okay. I will explain the level. Okay, later on in the next slide. And then number 4, the collaboration with the rubber product industry can be materialized by signing MOU lah, or MOA with the UiTM. So that means when you approach the industry and the industry willing to cooperate with you, to collaborate with you, then sign the MOU or MOA lah with that particular industry. Okay, so this is where we measure the technology readiness level, TRL. So it should be between 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. For example, if you have, okay, so if you have TRL0, which idea, so of course it's not possible to collaborate with the industry. Basic research also not advisable, not possible. Technology information also not possible. So what you need is the LR3, which is need validation. You have initial offering stakeholders like your slide where you should have small scale prototype built in a laboratory environment, even though it's a ugly prototype. And we have large scale prototype tested in the intended environment. And then the other one, TRL6 prototype system tested in intended environment close to the expected performance, and TRL7, which is demonstration system operating in the operational environment to pre-commercialized scale. So TLR8 and 9 is for the industry to commercialize your product. Okay. Okay. In order for us to actually apply this MRC ILF, we need to do through online. Online. Okay, so I will explain a little bit on how to actually apply online. All right. So actually online you have to fill in 2 form. The first one we call them as a preliminary proposal application. So the committee will evaluate your preliminary proposal application. So if you get above than 60, so you can actually fill in the full application proposal. And then if you success, they will call you for the presentation. Okay, so we just look at what are the preliminary proposal application. It's very, very brief, not detailed. Tak ada. Okay. Okay, so this is the preliminary proposal application. So they have the project title. Okay, you need to have a name of the project title, the project leader. Okay, and then CV. And then you need to also fill in the industry or the research collaborator. So it's very important that the project leader required to name an industry partner and specify the role of the industry partner in the proposal. So you need to actually specify the role. Okay, so just leave.
Prof, sorry, tak nampak, Prof.
Oh, tak nampak ya?
Okay,
kejap.
Dia dekat thank you very much.
Okay, nanti saya rasa ya. Nanti saya ensure kejap Saya kena tutup dia ni kot. Sorry, nasib baik awak bagi tahu. Okay. Okay, saya buat balik semula. Okay. Nampak tak yang ni?
Kena tutup dulu.
Tak nampak?
Tak nampak, masih slide yang lama.
Okay. Macam mana Saya tutup semua dulu
Dan buka baru share.
Sebab tadi saya try dah boleh ni tak boleh. So saya pergi yang terus okay, tak apa. Tutup semua Okay, so saya pergi kepada jap. Okay. Share balik semula. Okay, saya pergi ke sini. Share. Sekarang nampak apa? Nampak siapa ni kan?
Nampak list of files yang ada dekat dalam.
Okay, alright. So sekarang saya nampak tak yang ni? Nampak dah?
Belum terbuka lagi.
Belum buka lagi, Prof.
Belum buka?
Belum terbuka, dia masih
Takes time kot. Tak nampak? Belum?
belum.
Macam mana
Tekan sekali lagi.
Tekan lagi sekali Yang ni dah nampak kan? Yang ni okey?
Ni okey nampak.
Okey, saya tekan ni preliminary proposal application. Okey, tekan. Tak nampak?
Tak terbuka lagi.
Nanti saya kena share balik semula ke? Kejap. Macam mana Sekejap. Tak nampak juga? Sekejap. Saya dah 2 kali dah. Sekejap.
Stop sharing dulu.
Stop sharing. Oh, mungkin tak stop sharing. Oh, that's why. Okay, stop sharing. Okay.
And then.
Okay. Oh, okay. Dia redundant. Okay. Ni stop sharing. Ni nampak dah? Yang ni nampak?
Boleh nampak.
Okay. Saya terlupa nak stop sharing tadi. Okay. Alright. Ni stop dulu kan? Okay. Alright. So this is actually the preliminary proposal application. Once you go to the link MRC ILF, you akan open and dia akan keluar dia punya link dia and you have to fill in the form lah. Okay, yang pertama preliminary proposal application. So you have to put the project title, the name of the project leader lah. Okay, and then all the details. And then after that you have to also put the CV, and then you need also to name the industry or research collaborator. So that means you need to identify what is the industry partner and need to fill in the detail lah, the company name, company description, person in charge and so on. Okay, and then lepas tu you need to actually choose what is the role of that industry collaborator. Okay, so either you can tick one or more. For example, the industry provide research material. So you can tick this one or any of the relevant here lah. Either provide testing facilities, okay, provide production line of trial and result validation, technical support and so on. So you can click more than one. And then after that, you need to fill in the collaborator role elaboration, okay. And then lepas tu, you also need to attach the official letter lah, signed by the authorized person from the industry to confirm that they are the collaborator to your research work. And then you need to also write down the problem statement, okay, and then objective, project summary, okay, sectoral industry impact, cost benefit analysis, the project duration, the cost of the project cost. Okay, so and then after that you submit. Okay, and then if you success, then after that you need to actually fill in another one, we call them the full proposal application. Okay, share. So this is the share. Yeah. Okay, boleh nampak tak ni? So this is actually the full application proposal. Nampak tak? Nampak? Okay. So jadi after the preliminary proposal accepted, then you have to fill in the proposal of researcher. So you need to put the institution, kita UiTM lah, the faculty and the name of the UiTM, project leader, deputy project leader. Tadi tak ada kan? And then you can name the deputy project leader, details, the project teams. Okay. What are the teams in your project? And then the CV of the researchers, you just attach, okay, the CV of the researchers, get the CV from your teams and attach here. And then second one, be profile of the collaborator. So you need to identify what are the collaborator from the industry, okay, the name, institution and so on. Okay, and then the collaborator team members, okay, the detail lah, their member, and also the CV lah, the collaborator CV attach here, and then you in the system, all right. And then part C, the role of the collaborator. Just now you have to click one or more of this role of the collaborator, and then you need to do the description, okay, description on the elaboration of the contribution by the collaborator, and then attach the acknowledgement letter, okay, and then after that you save and record, okay. And then the part D is the project identification. So now you have to actually identify what type of project that you want to do, either dry rubber product, latex product, automation, infrastructure and construction, or others. So in my case, I choose infrastructure and construction. If not listed here, you can put others here and please specify that one. Okay, and then the focus product, type of product, it can be either applied, experimental development, pre-commercialization ataupun commercialization. Okay, and then the name of the project, the keywords, 5 keywords for the project title, duration maximum 3 years. Okay, then you just put in the cost. Okay, and then after that you save. Okay, and then you next to go to part E, objective of the project. So you need to for this project I have 5 objectives. So you need clearly to state the objective, because along the way the committee will actually monitor either you achieve the objective or not. So they will monitor after you submit your progress report. Okay, you have to state it there, either you achieve or not objective, the objective with the milestone. Okay, then you have to state the problem statement, literature review, okay, project summary, related research, project references, so update research per references, IP research, either you want to go for patent, copyright, trademark, ataupun industrial design. Then you have to provide the detail and then you can also choose file for the supporting document. Okay, and part F, a benefit of the project. Okay, so expected output outcome. So if it's for commercialization, is it cost saving? Is it a new product or existing product improvement? Okay, and then for the time frame of commercialization, is it immediate ataupun require further action? So you have to tick one of these box. Okay, and for the publication, you can either for journal, conference, seminar, workshop paper, technical paper. For the publication, normally during our when we do the research work, they are not to do a publication. After that, after we complete and fill in the pattern, then we can do the publication. So we need to wait a little bit after completion of the project. And then we need to have intellectual properties, if any. and then sectoral or industrial impact, okay, economic feasibilities, and project risk. So we have to identify what is the risk level, in the low, medium, high for the technical, financial, and timeline. Okay, and research approach, we need to be detailed out about our research approach, background information, okay, methodology, detailed methodology, permitted to be recorded, data analysis, and also supporting document. Okay, and the next part is project schedule milestone. So we need to put the milestone for each of the objective of the project, okay, and upload them in the system. And then J, financial requirement. So we need to actually attach the financial requirement using Excel and then upload in the system lah. Okay, and then declaration, all right, and submission. All right, so this is actually the full application form. Okay, here I just to share a little bit on my proposal. Okay, my proposal for my project. Okay, so just share with you. Maybe I go here. Okay, kena stop sharing dulu kan? Okay, balik semula. Okay, kat sini. Okay, this is my example lah. Proposal that I get. Nampak tak? Boleh nampak?
Tak nampak, Prof.
Ha?
Kena stop sharing dulu. So ada macam tadi lah.
Nampak? Okay, tutup. Stop sharing. Okay, share balik semula. Okay. Saya kena buka. Okay. Nampak? Tak juga? Tak nampak?
Tak nampak, Prof. Dia tak keluar.
Tak keluar? Okay, saya buka dulu kot. Stop sharing. Sorry lah. For the technical error. Saya kena buka dulu kot. Okay. Okay, share. Okay. Ini nampak? Nampak ni?
Oh, it's good. Okay.
Oh, nampak. Okay. Boleh nampak kan? Okay. So this is my project lah. So just briefly lah. Nanti kemudian boleh tanya. Okay, jadi sebenarnya sama je macam tadi. So we just put a profile of a researcher. Okay, so in my case, I have my name and then I have deputy project leader. And my project team is from Doshin Rubber lah, which is Dr. O Tanteng dan Dr. Patrick Tiong, and my other researcher. Okay, collaborator, ada collaborator from Universiti Negeri Semarang from Indonesia. And then project identification is infrastructure and construction. Focus product will be on high damping rubber bearing, HDRB. Type of research about experimental development, because this HDRB is actually material supplied by Doshin, and I use their product and test in the lab. Okay, so the title of my project is Seismic Response of Base Isolated Low-Rise RC Building under In-Plane Lateral Cyclic Loading. So this is my topic will be focused on the spatial base isolation. Okay, so this is the keyword. So in this case, I have actually 5 objectives. So because this is 3 years and this is for PhD students, so I make it 5 objectives. Okay, maybe if you have 2 years, maybe you can have 3 objectives. It depends on the project. So for my study, I have 5 objectives. Okay, so list out all the 5 objectives here. And then I state the problem statement because of current earthquake. So we have problem with the structure, okay, and damage and so on, why not lah. And then I have literature review, a little bit on the base isolation system. Okay, so this is example of base isolation system. And then project summary, just summarize the objective and how I can achieve the objective through experimental work. And this is the related research of my work. Okay, so I also quote Dr. Patrick works with Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, UiTM. Okay, and then references. Okay, in my case, I have like 34 references and should be updated lah. So the more you put references, it's much more better because at least you do thoroughly literature review on your study. And then for IP search, I have copyright and industrial design. So this is the benefit to the project because this project is to provide the proper design guideline for low-rise RC building by equipped HDRP lah, which subjected to seismic. So this HRDB can be used for the people for the houses which is located in the medium high seismic medium region of earthquake, so that can protect their building from damage. Okay, so expected outcome, I have cost saving and existing product improvement lah. So maybe after I did experimental work on the special base isolation, so they can improve the product to can cater for maybe bigger earthquake. Okay, and then publication, intellectual properties. Okay, and then I have structural industrial impact. Okay, project risk, I put all the medium. Okay, for the research approach, I have a background information. So for the methodology, I break down the methodology into 4 phases so that can be tally with the objective. Okay, so I have phase 1, phase 2. For phase 1, I addressing objective 1, phase 2, objective 2, and so on lah. So actually, I did quite a very detailed methodology so that the industry can understand what I'm going to do, and hopefully they can accept lah my proposal. Okay, then this is the detail of my research methodology. All right, and then after that, parameter to be recorded. Okay, and then data analysis. What are the data that I get from the analysis? These are quite a number of them. Okay, and then here is the project schedule. So I start 2019, and because of the PKP, my project extended until 30th of June 2022. Okay, and then we have also to put the project milestone. Okay, I have 6 project milestone. And then finally the financial requirement. So my total cost is about 234,000 ringgit. And the total cost is 290,400. Okay. And then declaration, and that's all. So that's about sharing a little bit of my presentation. Okay. So I hope that it's on 2:45, just on time. Okay. All right, so that is a little bit of my tips on winning the MRC ILF fund. Okay, thank you very much, Natasha.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Dr. Hayati, for sharing the valuable input and tips to all of us in writing the winning proposal. So now I would like to open for Q&A section.
Ada tak? Okay, attachment. Ada soalan? Ada soalan? Any question?
Question?
Tak ada kan dalam ni? Tak ada. Dalam chat box tak ada?
Tak ada.
Tak ada. Okay, good. Any question?
One question from me, Prof.
Okay, all right.
So, do the industry collaborator must come from one of the lists that have been provided by MRC, or I have
Tak dengar Natasha, suara macam bergema sikit.
Oh, okay.
Dia macam sayu. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Kita fill in the online tu kan, preliminary proposal tu, and then kalau accept, then dia akan, you need to letak yang full application proposal. So tak semestinya dalam MRC ILF tu yang dia list, yang lain pun boleh, tak ada masalah. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Tak dengar. Dia macam bergema.
Oh.
Okay.
Dengar?
Okay, boleh dengar.
Alright. Then questions from the floor.
Okay. Tak ada soalan kot.
Hi, hello.
Manjit Singh, yes.
Yes. Hi, Prof. Just nak tanya satu soalan.
Ya.
Kalau ada industri yang dia buat peralatan untuk rubber glove, maknanya dia buat oven untuk drying for rubber glove. Adakah dia layak untuk apply this grant?
Boleh, sebab this company dia akan give you, is not in term of money, dia akan bagi in term of in kind lah. So yang akan bagi duit adalah MRC ILF. Tapi dia ada dua tau. Dia ada dua, sama ada full ataupun ada apa dipanggil tu yang matching grant tu. Dia ada 50-50. So it can either one lah. So normally in my case, the company Doshin Rubber dia provide the products, and yang agak full grant from MRC ILF tu dia bagi duit untuk pay all my expenses lah. So yang you can approach them and discuss with them apa yang diorang boleh contribute to you. So kalau then you can apply lah the grant through online.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. YBhg. Okay, any other question? Ada soalan? Tak ada kot?
Any question? Before we move on to the second speaker of the day. Everything is still the Prof.
Okay, so thank you very much. So I have my partner, Dr. Patrick, will explain more on the industry side, what actually they are looking for from our university. Okay, thank you very much, Natasha.
Okay, thank
very
you
much, Dr. Ada. Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, so before we move on to the second session of the webinar, I would like to introduce to all of you the second speaker of the day. So Dr. Patrick Tiong graduated in 2014 with a PhD in civil engineering. He then continues for his postdoctoral as a research fellow in Nanyang Technological University, Singapore for 2.5 years. He is now the Design and Engineering Manager with Doshin Rubber Products, Mrcmrcilf. His areas of interest include seismic mitigation through seismic isolation and energy dissipation devices, earthquake engineering, as well as structural analysis. Besides that, he is publishing his research work. One of his main interests is to bridge the gap between academic research and practical industrial application, and as for that, he has been involved in 2 industrial research funds with local universities. So without further delay, I would like to welcome Dr. Patrick Tiong.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Moderator. Now everybody can see my slides and hear my voice.
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. So salam sejahtera. I would like to wish to all fellow UiTM staffs and friends, and also wish everyone selamat berpuasa So it's very soon Ramadan will be coming. Just before I start to share a little bit from the industrial perspective, I understand from the researcher point of view, it's quite difficult to draw a fine border on whether your research applications is actually fulfilling what the council or the Malaysian Rubber Council is looking for. So you can just drop them an email, because knowing them, the person in charge for the funding will be replying in quite a promptly manner. So they can actually come back to suggest more whether you meet the requirement or not. No harm to give it a try, because I think as long as you benefit the rubber industry, it should be very good for the whole Malaysian market as a whole. Okay, so from my side today, I will be sharing a little bit from the industry perspective. So when you go through these slides, do bear in mind that it does not need to mean that you only have to work this with Doshin rubber. What I'm going to present is, it can be representing any other industry that you're looking for. It can be from the gloves, from the latex side, or from the dry rubber side. Okay. So Doshin is actually a Malaysian company. It has been in the industry for almost 40 years now. We focus a lot on the dry rubber sector, focusing mainly in the usage of civil engineering structures. Okay. So our vision and quality policy is actually to be continuously improving our technology and also the product and development, so that we can continue to supply quality products for the industry needs. So from the industry perspective, when we look at research, we actually try to bring a balance between three main components. And there is the existing product that is available in the market, because it's a very practical world for industry that our product must have a market in the end, right? Then it also has to match with the current production technology that we have, or that we can invest in the future. And last but not least, this is the most important one, and that is the commercial value of the product after we successfully found the so-called new products or the improvement of the technology. So this is from the industry perspective. Then another side is from the funder. In this case, it will be the Malaysian Rubber Council. So the Malaysian Rubber Council used to be known as the Malaysian Rubber Export Promotional Council, MREPC. One of their main role is to increase the export of Malaysian rubber to the world. So they are actually very keen in helping the industry to grow. It does not only mean Doshin rubber or any specific products, but any product that can contribute to the usage of natural rubber, they should be very interested in to give you a full support. But of course, they are looking at the commercialization value of the product in the end. If the research work does not see to have a full potential for commercialization, then the proposal might not be shortlisted. Okay? And then you have to be able to contribute to the existing product or the process, because this is very important. Most of the factories that you will be looking to work with, they should already have the existing production line in place. So whatever we want to propose, whether it's a new product or whether it is improving to the technology or process, it must be able to fit in to the current system. Although you may suggest any types of modification, the modification works must be feasible. It must be able to be properly carried out. And of course, all this must lead to contribute to the rubber industry. This means that whenever we are able to come out with the increase in usage of rubber, we are going to help the upstream of the rubber farmers, rubber tappers. So our country actually still depends a lot on agriculture. Then one of these actually will be on the rubber side. Okay. So Doshin, throughout these years, we continuously work with research institutes around the world. Of course, we try to focus also in the local university awam, the public universities, because we feel that this is a way that we can repay the society by helping our university to grow talents in new manpower training and also to sustainable education. In overseas also, we are also looking at the same thing, but it does not involve mainly in monetary. It's more like a knowledge-based research collaboration. So this research can be categorized into three main areas, following my previous slides. And there is, it actually covers only the few things. There is a new product development or the material science behind this. In this case, the rubber compound development or the polymer science, and also the product improvement. Now, this can be the area of research that you will be looking at, no matter which industry or which company you want to go or you want to approach. If you are targeting one of these main areas, they should be very interested to work together with you as a collaborator. Okay, so the next slides, the next few remaining slides will be looking at what Doshin is actually offering as an industry perspective, while you might go through these slides and then brainstorm or think along the way that whether some of this idea might catch your attention, that you want to work on the research on this, to feel free to write to us or to approach any other industry partners. Okay. So we are actually an ISO 9001 certified company, following the scope for design, manufacturing, and testing. We emphasize a lot on testing of the products, because all these rubber products are used in civil engineering applications. It is not the normal gloves product that we see. This product must be able to withstand a lot of repeated loadings. So the performance of the product must be close or match what we have designed for. Therefore, we are emphasizing a lot on the testing of the product. Now, one of the products that we actually produce and supply is the marine dock fenders. So what is this? This is actually replacing the old technology of people using recycled tires at the port. When you have ship or vessels docking, these rubber fenders is there to absorb the energy to protect both the port structure and also the vessels. Okay. Then we have the expansion joint. When you drive through any elevated highways or any types of elevated sections of roads, you will feel a sudden bump, sometimes sudden bumpy roads that you actually experience when you drive through. Now, these are expansion joints. We supply few different types of joint. If you drive through the Jambatan Kedua Pulau Pinang, the second Penang Bridge, we are actually using not the rubber joint. It's actually a different types of modular joint that is catering for 3 degree of freedom movements. While this expansion joint normally only take the longitudinal movements only, right? Then the mining products, this is the abrasion panels for the mining products to cover and protect the rotary drums. Then the track, what we call the railway track system, the anti-vibration pads. There are a lot of different products that actually covers for this type of application. It can be covering from the floating slab trap system, the direct fixation system, or the rubber wedge system. Because this is non-structural performance, this is the tramway and the light rail electric insulator. In European countries, they are quite famous in using the power supply to be buried at the track. Then they need the rubber seal to actually cover up this exposed area. So it must have high electrical resistivity. Okay. Then we will come to a few important products from Doshin, the elastomeric bearings. This is actually a support that is actually located under the bridge stack. It is there to take the vertical load and allow the bridge to move during the service conditions and also due to the thermal expansion and shrinkage. When the load is become heavier, then we will go for this type of bearing. We are called mechanical port bearings. Although it is made mostly from the steel, there is actually a rubber pad inside to take the rotation from the bridge. Okay. Then this is a spherical bearing. This product will not be covered by the Malaysian Rubber Council research fund because it does not contain any rubber materials. Okay. Okay, then this is a seismic isolator, one of the systems that Prof. Hayati is working with. It is actually made from the rubber and steel layers. It is used to take the earthquake movements. So it is a type of anti-earthquake resistant products. Okay. Then the lead rubber bearings. Similarly, this bearing different than the high damping bearing by having a lead core in the center to take higher energy dissipation capacity. Right. So a little bit on our testing centers. Okay. So all our labs are accredited to the Malaysian laboratory standards, MS ISO 17025. So while going through these slides, you might be interested to work with Doshin on testing. Okay, but just bear in mind that Doshin does not provide testing services just for testing purposes, because we only test our own products, and all this testing is there just to test whatever we have designed for. Okay. Now, these are all the testing requirements, testing facilities, and also the testing for smaller bearings. This is normally used for the track system, tram system, and then the testing for compound development. Okay, this is the testing of the seismic isolator. We have few machines doing this for different movements and different load conditions. This one is our considered ILF 140. It can test the bearing up to a diameter of 1.2 meter. So the shear displacement is plus minus half a meter, 500 mm. Then we have a very big testing machine. This machine can take up to 5,000 ton compression force or 50,000 kilonewton compression force, and a shear displacement of plus minus 1 meter, giving a total of 2 meter movement. Okay. This is a test on the rubber fender. All the fenders we supplied, we have to test and to fulfill that requirement that the fender do not fail by compressing the height up to a 50% of the original height. Then it will be checked for energy dissipation, and also the visual must not show any signs of a significant crack. Okay. Similar, this is another type of fender, similar testing machine, similar testing concept. Okay. Now we also have our laboratory on the rubber development itself. Now this is focusing only on the rubber properties, such as the tensile properties, the hardness test, the dynamic spring rate test, and all this. This is focusing on the rubber property only. Okay. So that's all that I have to share. If there's anything that you'd like to know more about us, feel free to write to us. You can find the email address and also our website, www.doshinrubber.com. Okay. So that's all. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Patrick Tiong, for the very interesting presentation on the background of Doshin Rubber Products and Rubber Hide, on what you are actually doing by offering the services to cater all the problems that the industry have lah, right? So I'll open the floor for questions. So we have more or less 50 minutes for Q&A session. Sorry. You have no question. Any questions from the floor? So in the meantime, I would like to remind the participants who are intend to submit the application, Kindly note that the deadline of the June application for MRC Industrial Linkage Fund will be on 10 May 2022 through the MRC ILF online system. So more or less we have around 1 month to complete the proposal for submission lah. Since we do not have any questions from the floor, I would like to thank you for the very interesting presentation just now. And for all the attendees, please fill up the Google form. The link has been attached in the chat box. Okay. So thank you, Dr. Patrick Tiong. Thank you, Prof. Dr. Hayati.
You are welcome. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And thank you to all the participants for spending your time.
Natasha, ada satu question daripada YouTube ni. Do you do rubber injection molding?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
I don't know from who.
A random question from YouTube, I guess.
Do you have, do you do rubber injection molding? You did?
From Dr. Raja Roslan.
We have injection molding or for specific products, not for all. Yeah.
Oh, from Raja Roslan. Okay.
Sekretariat, ada soalan lain ke daripada YouTube?
Macam tak ada soalan ni kot. Tak ada.
Right. So with that, I would like to thank Prof. Dr. Hayati and also Dr. Patrick Tiong for being with us today. And thank you to all the participants as well. All right. So with that, I thank you, UiTM. Thank you, everyone from Dr. Patrick. All right. So we may end the session for today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Patrick. Thank you, Dr. Natasha. Thank you.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.